Duality exists for the need of creation. But if you're all that exists, then you're going to play. Because that alone truly exists. God alone exists. So it must play. Wouldn't you? And so that's what you are doing. You alone exist, and you're playing. Think of Michael the movie. He was playing. But his love for the allness of all life, the Supreme Being, which is everything together, was always there. But play, have fun, detach for the sake of creation. And what? For the sake of the drama. Who cares? If you're detached, it doesn't matter the outcome. And that's the point. And the more you work in the now and the more you're detached, then duality disappears. It is what it is. Whatever happens, happens, and that's just what happens. But if you sit back and look at this, it all happens for the good and the best of all. If you notice, and I see this in a lot of positive thinkers, you know, everything happens to you when it's in the interest of the whole. And this is always true. So whenever you're doing something, if it's good for all, or the majority, it will happen. But if it's just good for you and it's going to hurt someone else, it generally doesn't happen. So it's just that sort of thing, you know. Hey, Dr. Morse, I was wondering, I'm eating nothing but fruits and some veggies. Hey, Ryan. And I do juices but no supplements. I feel much better than I did. I have a question, though. Right now I live with my father and little sister, and I mostly try to get my father to go raw. He eats nothing but breads, meats. The question he has is, he doesn't want people to tell him what to eat. Is there any way, especially his own kids, right? Is there any way to get him to convert to health and not destruction? Ryan. Nope. Nothing. It has to come within him. He has to sometimes have a butt whooping, you know, stroke, heart attack, something like that. And then he, you know, can wake up, and sometimes it still doesn't wake him up. You know what? Be a Johnny Appleseed, my friend. You know, just do it yourself, and you know, drop little things once in a while. You know, I think the Zen technique's pretty cool. You know, just little statements that get them to stop and think a minute. You know, like when he's eating something, say, "You like that dead animal?" You know, you just use little things that, not to jab them, but to get them to look at what they're doing. You know, to zen them. Like the one saying that tie two birds together, and even though they have four wings, they cannot fly. You know, things like that stop the consciousness to shatter, to stop and observe, because thought is invading people, and they're lost in thought. They're lost in desires and thought processes, and so when you can get them to pull out of the thinking and get more in the then they take those blinders off for a minute, and helps lift them up. And sometimes you just have to do that. He might never be healthy in this lifetime, and you just can't care. You're your own soul. Your family only supplied your body for you. You're the traveler here. None of my family, even my sister's kinda, but none of my family really got into this well. But they're all under the ground, except my sister. How come if I do grape diet I gain weight? What is the purpose? Well, honey, I love you too, Life Regenerator. Thanks, Betty. You know, you gain weight when you're too acidic, I can tell you, especially in the rehydration process, and we've talked about this before. And especially some of the overweight people, they can come in here and start to do raw, and they actually gain weight. This is water weight. You can't gain fat with this. But you gain water. And if you'll notice, those people that are not losing weight and are really trying hard, if you'll notice, your body's reshaping itself. You actually won't, the weight will be up there, but you'll see your dimensions changing. Your waist, your chest, everything will change in dimension. Your fat cells will shrink, everything, but you will be holding water. And that's just the nature of beast in a highly acidic environment. And what I'm seeing in some of your questions, Life Regenerator, you've got some, you know, some chronic things going on. I think it was you when it was glaucoma or something, and a whole list of things. So yeah, hang in there, man. I mean, you're just extremely acidic, and that's what this shows. Because 9 out of 10 people do not do that. They don't, even as acidic as some people are. So it really does show some issues here. But it also shows kidneys and the adrenals. You know, that's really another real look at more of an advanced kidney and adrenal weakness here. So hang in there. You mentioned another bit. It came to gain weight when. Yeah. Yep. I am a raw almost a year, lean like a mango. That is not the answer. Well, you know what? If you get too lean, you're malabsorbed, bottom line, because I never got too lean. A lot of my people don't get too lean, and some of them get very lean. You see, but everyone I've seen that gets too lean, I find pancreatic or malabsorption. But you got to fix it, and you got to go in and clean up the body, clean up the bowels, and fix that malabsorption, and then you will gain muscle, not fat. A lot of people just they don't care what they put on. Well, I do. I'd rather see muscle than fat. You know, you don't want to grain feed yourself like a hog or a cow, and then take yourself to market. You mentioned phosphorus. I ate a lot of dates. Nah, I don't think so. Chronic runs, and I noticed that they stated to be very high in phosphorus. I don't know. I don't know if dates would be doing that. I had to eat some cooked yesterday because I ran out of apples. Yeah, I mean, keep detoxifying your body, because that phosphorus, high phosphorus, will push the calcium out. But it's kidneys. High phosphorus and high potassium go right to the kidneys. People on dialysis always fight the phosphorus and the potassium things, but again, high phosphorus, that's a little brother in chemistry in terms of the two older sisters, cal mag, and so you'll start losing your calcium, magnesium. Phosphorus cannot dominate the human body or anything. That's acidic. This is all love, a lot of, yeah, prolapsed herbs you can, but work on your parathyroid, sweetheart, and strengthen. Remember, I addressed your heart in terms of cells to blood and lymph and nerve. So you strengthen the nervous system and the heart. Again, adrenal glands, can get your adrenal glands up. Strengthen the connective tissue of the body with the parathyroid, sweetheart. You'll be good. Lion Man, super love to my friend. Super love to you, man. There's only one side, and when all begin to see it. Yeah, Lion Man, this is how I see things. I see things pretty much as you do, my friend. I mean, I have another side that likes to play and tout and rally. But, you know, I'm like, that's why I gave that reference to Michael the movie with John Travolta. I'm like that a lot. I can play and rally and laugh all the way, and hold people accountable, even though I know it's God that I'm doing that to. But God in an unconscious way, you know, all things are it, but there's different levels to it in creation. And even though creation is not real, it's still the playground of maturity of consciousness and the ever-expansion of the Supreme Being. Has a multi-fold reason for existing. Looking forward to your iridology. Yeah, I'm gonna really try to get there, Lion Man. Yes, you know, I'm just so daggone busy. I want to do some neat things with these videos. After we get caught up kind of with a lot of the questions and stuff, I'm going to do some iridology lessons more, so we can get into them. I'll show you the things that I found through the years, and then you know, we'll go on to some other things. I'll give you some training in how you deal with people, like I did with Indiana Banana. We'll do some listening in on a conference call or some things like that you guys don't mind if the whole crew listens in on. I have to get everybody's permission to do anything. Let's see. Why does a lot of people with heart issues have a large stomach and skinny legs? I don't know about that. I don't know that that's true. I've never seen that particularly. I mean, I spent a lot of years in cardiac work, and I didn't notice that, to be honest with you. I was right in cardiology, you know. I didn't see that. My cardiologist, yes, I have more than one. Oh, man! That was pretty funny. What's wrong with you, sweetheart? Yes, I have more than one. I never talk about diet. They just say lose weight, but some of us really try, but it really never goes away. Well, going back to your kidneys and your adrenal glands, sweetheart, get those adrenal glands up, and that's going to strengthen the neurotransmitter production. That's going to strengthen the myelin sheaths. It's going to strengthen the heart impulses. At the same time, you're moving lymph, of course. You're going to clean any obstruction, that swelling of the heart or stagnation of lymph or acidosis of the heart tissues could present to that, and also any nerve blockage in those tissues that could affect that. Also, if you have a valve that's weak, like the tricuspid or mitral valve, you're going to strengthen that up again. Go to that parathyroid again. Prolapse organs, good strengthener, but always think about that parathyroid again. And the blood will flow better. You can always stimulate blood in the body with a little ginger, low cayenne, not overdo the cayenne, very low with that, or chew on a horseradish root. All these things can really get blood flowing, but in reality, what occludes, what blocks, is an end result of acidosis and has the end result of the lymph system. So, and you can go right to your neurological part of your heart and go to these adrenal glands and why you fight the overweight as well. So deal with that. And then if you have a thyroid on top of having an adrenal issue, one, you don't metabolize your sugars, and then two, you have slow metabolism to begin with. So the thyroid controls the rate of metabolism. That's why when you do hair analysis, you either a slow, moderate, or a fast oxidizer, they call it. Or a metabolizer. You know, those with hyperthyroidism can eat 6 or 7 meals a day and never gain weight. And their metabolism is up, but that's hyperthyroidism. So then the opposite's true. And then when you don't metabolize sugars and you're eating starches, you don't have a chance, you know. So you have to change all that, get the acid out because of the edemic factors as well, and all this thing starts coming down to normal. Take you and don't give up, all love. You got a great name here. Just keep going, sweetheart. Alona Lotta. Yeah, I tell you, well, don't be alone a lot because you're with all, you know, no one's ever alone, but yet we're totally alone. That's the dichotomy or the irony of it all. That alone exists. There's nothing but the Supreme Being, yet there's creation. It seems like there's all kinds of things, and yet all things are one. So we're alone, but yet we're all together as one alone. Love it. So you're not alone, Alada. Love the spiritual. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah. You guys are good. You guys are just incredible. I have nothing good to say. You're all good. Thank you. I showed my wife your response to her lung cancer. Yeah, I mean, Paul, your wife's got to really hit this good. If you've done chemo or radiation or surgery, you've got to hit this. Because radiation and chemo always has a residual kick. If you don't do this, it is a big one. If you do this, sometimes it's negligible, small, or it can be big, even doing this. Depends how much chemo you've had, how much radiation. If an oncologist doesn't tell you there's residual kicks to this, then they're not being truthful with you. It was on. They were talking about it on the news. You know, they're trying to get more people to live past 5 years. 5 years? You don't want to have it, and it doesn't take you 5 years to get rid of most cancers. It only takes you less than a year. Most of the time, less than 6 months. But again, not as a disease. If you treat cancer as a disease, then you're playing with the AMA, and you're playing with the FDA, and you're playing with these guys that have no clue. You're playing with the people that are unconscious to the point where they're creating so much problems for the world. They just don't realize, and they all think they're doing good, like Lion Man said. These people have no clue. They're unconscious, and I respect that totally. But then we like to ring the bell of consciousness, don't we? And you can't be conscious and not do anything, because inaction isn't the answer either. At least I don't see that spiritually. I've went through that phase, but I don't have that phase anymore. I was put here for a reason. I know my reason, and I'm going to fulfill that reason.